Oh, hi there. It is Friday and we have a World Shogi League game coming up. But one thing that's going on here is I'm noticing on YouTube that there's a vertical stream, which is all messed up. It's like in the center of the board. I'm not sure if that's a new feature of theirs, and I don't know how to turn it off. But I'm going to take a look over here. So bear with me. I'm gonna try to take a look at this stream, see how it looks on mobile. Oh, and it looks fine. It looks fine. I don't know what this is. I'm seeing two streams. I don't know how to disable this. And I don't know how to even get into it as a viewer. Like I said, I'm looking on phone, and it is fine. It's fine. So hopefully other viewers, if you are coming into YouTube and you are seeing it all messed up, like just vertical, please let me know. Please let me know. And I'll try to do my best to get rid of that. I really don't know. This feels new to me. It seems like a new. Oh, there's a dual stream option. Connect a vertical stream from your encoder. Okay, so I seem to have that off, and it does say new, but it still shows the vertical stream sort of preview in my management console. So anyway, that is that. I am going to play some mate battle on Shogi Wars until the big WSL Division A game between Koshiro and Melkor, Brazil against Germany, and that is coming up in 53 minutes at 1 p.m. my time, 2000 hours UTC. But in the meantime, I am going to stream some Shogi Wars mate run. So I got this avatar. I don't know what this avatar means. Let's try to I can't even click this to translate. I can't click it. So all right, it is what it is. I don't know what that is. So anyway, let's quickly get in. I've got my Ito N green tea, still unsponsored. Hope everyone's having a good day. Starting a little late, had some things to do. Also, with that WSL game coming up, I wanted to make sure. Genuine God, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Boy, let's. Okay. Oh, where's that? Interesting one. All right. Huh. He's moving now. He's moving now. I saw something like this. Let's. Okay.
1分30
No.
秒。
No. Boy, Boy, oh, he's moving. The Tudon is moving. Gosh, how is this? How? I have so many pieces. It's too hard. It's too. What is going on here? It's too difficult. It's too difficult. Where's the trick? Where's the trick? Where's the trick? I mean, I'm gonna lose this game. Period. He's already well ahead of me. But let's try to solve this. I have 20 seconds. I was doing so well before this one. Is it? No, this is this is Hishi. This is not. Huh. What is this? What is this one? I spent over a minute and a half on this one, I think. More than half of my entire time. I spent 144. So I was cruising until this one. And then it just beat me. It's pointless to even try because I don't know what the engine's going to do. But yeah, like we already did this. And then then I have nothing. And then I have nothing. I can't even move my pieces. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a great problem. I wish it's a great problem. I wish I could get the answer to it. Great problem.
Loss. Current streak is
That
one
feels
loss.
like a very practical one that I would love to sort of learn the pattern for. Come on. Whoa! Come on, mouse! Wait, what is going on? Hold on. I think I'm thrown off by my mouse.
2分30秒
What am I doing? What's going on? What is going on?
2分
This can't be that hard. This cannot be that difficult. What is happening? Jeez.
1分30秒
Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
1分
It has to be a check, so I think I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and then I've got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do this. Okay, do I need the,
30秒
oh.
20秒
Ah! What is going on here? Okay.
10秒
10秒. Come on. Come on, mouse. Arigatou gozaimashita. I got the like. I got the like. Thank you. Based opponent. Thank you. Thank you to my based opponent.
Win. Current streak is 1 win.
I had thought that changing my mouse settings got me a little better. Not so sure if that's the case. You think that puzzle was bugged? Engine isn't finding a solution either? Well, the opponent must have gotten... I mean, the opponent got through it. So maybe he just Kishined it? So let's take a look. Let's take a look. I mean, the opponent did it. Let me change my scene here. So my opponent did it. Oh, it's finding 6-1. Hey, Danny Boy to First On, good to see you. So this is what I tried, and then takes 8-2. Oh, 8. That's not mate. That's not mate. 8-2 silver. That's not mate. That's not mate. That's not mate. So let's try 9-3. That's not mate. That's not mate. That's 6-2. 8-2. 7-2. 9-2. 9-3. Let's say he goes here. No, we can't say he goes there. 9-2. Interesting. That is a crazy one. That is an absolute crazy one. This one was Sume. This one is Sume. The 6-2. Yeah, I didn't even consider. So that's something to learn, is that drop. That I had enough pieces. I mean, this will almost never happen. But I had enough pieces to sacrifice the gold to pull the rook down so that I can push, or, drop the silver. That is fascinating. Yeah. Yeah. So what was the long one here? Take 9-2, and then the mate is 8-2. Here we do 8-3. King takes. Okay, this one will also. Yeah. So it's funny that the Hishi is faster than the mate in this one. Hey, Fordune, good to see you. Does horse 6-2 work too? Let's see. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no, but let's see. Engine says no. The engine is showing. Yeah, so, I mean, we've actually... Well, let's let it think a little longer. Let's let it think a little longer. This is what... You know, I think I tried this one. Yeah. And then there's nothing after that silver drop. Your daily game this morning won you a step closer to 4Q. Nice, nice. Maybe you should just record your game and throw it up on YouTube, like those journeys to 2Q, where many players are working, or 2K, 2000 in chess. Yeah. You know, in chess, in the chess world, that'll get some updates or some views. I don't know about in the Shogi world. Hey, Ayaka. You know, we have so few people who are out there to watch our videos. But what a problem. What a problem. It's amazing. Kudos to my opponent for getting it and getting it so quickly. Because I had a huge lead. I had a huge lead before just getting stuck on it. Wait, but also realize you did a Nifu instead of a king on the second file? Oh. It's funny that Stockfish doesn't care. So let's edit this board. Let's just make sure. Board editor. Okay. Not study. Analysis board. So I think this is probably it, right? Wait, what? This changes all the eval? Oh wait, this is not the position. This is no longer the position. I edited the position before. Oh shoot. So I'm going to go back to your raw one and then edit this board. I was getting worried about you, Foradun. Glad to see that you're still out there. Glad to see. So Fairy Stockfish is not yet finding mate. But busy work week. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing, maybe. I mean, so it still hasn't found mate. But I am going to help it. I'm going to help it with this. And now it sees it. Now it sees it. Yeah, that's a nice one. I sort of regret not seeing it. I mean, obviously, I wish I would have seen it. But the more I'm doing it, the more it's just like, yeah, of course. So hopefully that means that I'm ingesting the problem. Gosh, I don't know what's going on lately. I think I'm still a little sick. Just sitting here, just like yesterday, all of a sudden I'm starting to sort of feel warm, a little overheated. So anyway, let's go back to Shogi Wars and do again another.
あなたが先手です。
よろしくお願いします。Nairobi.
対
Reminds me
局
of the-
開始。
Come on. Oh gosh. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. Wow, it's a lot of
2分30秒。
Oh, I think I should have dropped the gold. So retry. I mean, I should have dropped the rook. No, retry.
2分
He's moving. Where's the rook? Or there's the king. Okay.
1分30秒
No. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Come on. I know you're out here. I know you're the solution. I know you're here. I know you are here. Maybe that's not it. It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
1分
Come on. It's got to be. Come on. Come on. Come on. What's going on? I'm going to lose this because I get hung up on these on single problems for so long.
30秒
The heck? This can't be hard. This can't be a difficult one. Cannot be a difficult one. Wait. Oh, of course.
10秒
Oh, that's my king.
10秒
Okay. Arigatou gozaimashita. Oh. Lucked that one out. Lucked that one out.
Win. Current streak is 2 wins.
Danny Boy, you say, what are my thoughts on using the engine after a self-analysis? I find it so tempting to just flip it on or click the lazy game review feature, but you're going to try to be disciplined and review it, your Shogi games first. I think in general, I think both are good, but in general, I'm going to agree with John Bartholomew that you review your game. Ideally, you review the game with your own brain. You think about the moves, you think about what you should have done, and then you check it with the engine to see what you missed in your review, learn some other ideas. I think it's a collaborative thing, but if you just go into, I believe, and this is again, this may be contentious, I don't know, but I believe if you go into the review, even if you go into the review with the engine blazing, you go into the review engine on, as long as you are going into it with an open mind, looking to learn things and question every single move that the engine is suggesting, I think that will be good too. So, I think it's a mix. Some games might be incredibly long, or you come out of the game and you don't have great ideas. I think that's natural. Like, there are plenty of games that I come out of where it's like, I played this game, I played this slowly, I thought through every one of my moves. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know. Like, there are certain games that I sort of lose in the middle game or just slowly get ground out where I could not tell you what I messed up because I thought I played great and I thought the opponent played great. And so, like, those types of situations, I think it's totally fine to go in with the engine and just be like, okay, where did it go wrong? And then inevitably in those types of games, what I'm going to see is that I didn't make any big mistakes. It was just like, just bleeding equity every single move. And those are the ones that I find the most difficult to review with an engine or without an engine, because essentially it's like, okay, what's the plan? What am I going to do? Yeah. On this move, instead of pushing the pawn on the second file, it would have been slightly better to push it on the fourth file, but pushing on the second file wasn't losing. Pushing on the fourth file it seems about the same to me. I can't think of why. Even if I go over variations, I'm not really finding why. You know, some of these things are subtle. And those games where you just subtly bleed equity, I think those are just very difficult. And even with a human to help, you know, the human might just be biased towards, even if it's a strong player, the strong player might be wrong. And they'll be like, well, you could have done this, and it's a plan. At least it's a plan. You know, if you go with the engine and you see later, you check the strong players' ideas out, you see like, no, those weren't good either. But it's tough. You know, it's really tough. But at the end of the day, I want to believe like every single review is not going to come up with nuggets of truth. You know, it's like you're panning for gold. Sometimes there's just no gold there, but you know, it's panning for gold. But as an artifact of doing that work, you're going to get better at panning for gold. Whether or not you get gold, you're getting better at panning for it. So that will help. I want to believe that will help later. So that's how I look at it. Fablegraph saying that yeah, self-analysis first is best. Afterwards, the engine's a great tool to check the work. Yeah. My two-man calculation is so fast in those puzzle battles. Do you feel that is strength for you? No. I feel that this is my weakness. I am slow. It's funny that you say that you think that I'm fast here, because I feel like I am brutally slow. You know, not only mechanically, but mentally. And this is something I've talked about on stream for a while now, is that, you know, I do the daily mate runs, which is that Shogi Quest feature where you do basically Puzzle Rush, the chess.com Puzzle Rush feature, but you're allowed to do 2 of them per day on Shogi Quest. Why they limit it, I don't know. But even for paying users, Omega Croc, hello on YouTube. Nice to see you. How popular is this app in Japan? This is the most popular Shogi site, the most popular Shogi app. So, you know, so I would say it's very popular. But I don't live in Japan. I don't have my finger on the pulse over there. But I'm going to guess it's very popular because it is the #1 site. But back to Tsume, yeah, I definitely feel like it is my weakness. And I have said that I wonder if, you know, starting Shogi and chess-like games essentially at an old age, I am concerned that this is going to limit my further growth. That, you know, I've said it is possible. I am willing to accept it. I'm not going, you know, I'm going to try to fight against it, but I would not be surprised if I simply cannot get better at Shogi anymore. So much of my rating and my wins, my good wins and whatnot, come from me getting to a superior position and then managing to eke out the victory. Because I work on my openings, because I still can memorize things. I enjoy doing openings, but my end game is still it feels to me to be so relatively weak. So no matter how many games I become better, you know, how many games I start better in an better opening, a lot of those games I am crumbling, because my end game is so relatively weak. And what I was saying about Shogi Quest is that this is something I've been doing for every single day, my daily 2 every single day for, I think, over 2 years now. And I have not gotten much faster. As I mentioned earlier this week, maybe that's not exactly true, because this week now, I have basically averaged probably low 20s, which is not good, but it's still better than my usual average. This entire week, I don't think I have gone under 20, in fact. So, like today was, I think, 25 and 23, which is, for me, pretty good. I've had a 25-25 this week, which is very good. You know, I haven't really gotten higher than 26 this week. I think my high overall came about a year or so ago, and it was 29, I think. But overall, like, I'm not getting much faster there. I'm not getting much better, and I'm not getting much faster. in those mate runs, which makes me think possibly my calculation is brain limited at this point. And just age, my calculation speed might just be age limited, might be some other limited, maybe just I can't think that fast. I don't know. I'm going to keep training and hope that I do burst through, but I don't know. And I do consider my end game to be my weakest aspect of the game. Also reflect on emotional and mental state during the game, or more specifically where mistakes were made. Yeah, that's a great thing, and that usually helps. I've seen people. So when this is all because there are no shogi podcasts besides Shogi in the West, and the guy who does Shogi in the West has nothing useful to say about this. But the chess podcasts, a lot of people will take their game, especially when it's fresh, and they will annotate it with their feelings, their emotional state, what was happening around the board. A kid next to me was tapping his foot and picking his nose. My opponent was 3 years old and he was sneezing and coughing and not even looking at the board. Those like thoughts and situations. And maybe I think the hope is that in analyzing what you're thinking at the board, you can realize in the future, you could see in the future, this is when I'm getting nervous. Let's focus on this. Let's take let me take a water break. Things like that. So I think that's really useful. And because a lot of the times, the question that I find myself asking myself is, why did I make this move? So, like, if I'm reviewing a game and let's take the engine out of it. I'm reviewing a game and I pushed pawn 2-4 into death. Like, I knew it was going to die. And I still made the move. And then later on in the analysis, I'll ask myself, why did I make this move? And I'll say, well, I pushed the pawn. I knew it was going to be taken by the pawn. I knew I could not take back. But I couldn't see a better move. I had already spent 30 seconds, and I was just hoping that by not having a pawn in that second file, good things might happen later in the game. So in a sense, it was hope shogi. That's really it. So I'll go back and I'll say, that's why I made that move. Or another common question, not why didn't I make this move? Why was this not a candidate move? So this is with the engine or by myself. I'll go later and I'll see a move that just, sometimes when you're reviewing your games, and this happens to me all the time because I still review my streams. I'm rewatching a stream and I'll be watching a game that I played. I'm watching myself play, and this is a game we did not review on the stream. And I'll be watching this game, and I'll see instantly the move, instantly the right move. And after 20 seconds of thinking, the dumb past me is like not finding anything. But the question is, why did I not see this move? Why did I not see this move? Am I too hyper-focused on locality? Was I too nervous? Am I trying to play too quickly? Was I talking? Which is whatever. But like, I don't always come up with answers, but maybe the search for those answers will help to see those types of problems in the future. I don't know. So Danny boy, you continued. You definitely agree calculation visualization is hard to push that bar up. Well, you say it is, and you agree it is, but people in the chess world seem to make it sound like it's not. It's like, just do puzzles, do tactics. And I don't know. I'm trying. And even in the shogi world, the common refrain is dutsume shogi, dutsume. And just like with everything, you take everything with a grain of salt. You take the truth. You You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then you have the facts of life. And the facts of life are that Tsume Shogi is not a guarantee of getting faster or better. You can see where the intuitive moves are made and play them fast from the deep calculation positions. At least that's what you find for yourself. And that's the hope. That is the hope. Foradun saying, again, for example, I see Killer Ducky saying, good to see you. Bad example. Yeah, pawn 2-4 is never wrong. Yeah. I thought of you as I was saying that, actually. It's funny. Foradun saying, for example, are you allowing cognitive bias like loss aversion to loss aversion to spaces your play, to shape your play over your in-game analysis? Yeah, that's another great point. Like sometimes when I have more time, so let's take like Shogi Wars games out of it. Hey, Oregamoniwan, nice to see you. Omega, you say you feel a monthly podcast with Carolina, Melkor, Lily, and maybe a few others. Well, I mean, tell them to do it. Tell them to do it. Yeah. I mean, more podcasts would be better. I tried. I did my podcast. I tried. I liked it. Not many other people did. But yeah. So when I'm in the game, and I'm cognizant of this during the game as well, especially in these over the board ones, like I say, where it's like, I've been here before. I'm in, like, let's say I'm in a winning position. I'm in a position, obviously I don't know I'm winning while I'm playing. In a position that I perceive to be winning, and I have choices. And I'll think, the last time I was in this position, I lost the game because I was too aggressive, because I tried to mate. And that may, or the past 2 times I was in this position, I lost. And I was trying to make the best mating move. I was trying to surround the king. I was trying to win with the air quotes, proper or best, the optimal. I was trying to win with the optimal way. And even when I was correct to attack with the optimal way, it was not necessarily the most practical or easy way, and I found a way to lose the game. So I think, okay, well, this has happened twice before, or a million times before, but literally the last 2 times I played this player, maybe I should, I see this defensive resource that seems to keep him at bay. Maybe I'll do that, and then I'll make that move, and it's like, wah, wah. No, I missed the one and only move that he had to turn the game around, and he did not miss it. So, I think that's also a thing to think about is, and I still don't know what my relationship is with this whole discussion, because if anyone is familiar with the National Football League or football player, they'll say that good quarterbacks have a short memory. They'll say that good quarterbacks have a short memory, meaning if they mess up, they forget that they mess up. And then the next time they try to do the exact same thing. It's because sometimes what they tried to do was correct. You have to live on the edge to win, like in football or what at a high level, you have to be living on the edge. So you can't be afraid to make the mistake. And I think that is awfully true with Shogi. A lot of times in Shogi, you just have to be willing to live on that edge, because it is a hard, sharp game. And if you are not going all out, if you try to play safe, a lot of times you're just going to lose. You're going to lose your chances. And so I'm cognizant when I'm reviewing and when I'm at the board to be like, yeah, I was a little afraid here. I was afraid. So I tried to play the safe move. I mean, how many times have we seen on this stream where I say I'm going to try to make this safe move, and that safe move just basically lost all my chances, or it just threw away my huge winning advantage. It's tough. Shogi's tough. Very tough. Very, very, very tough. Playing with the intention of getting positional advantage isn't exactly hope shogi. Well, it is if you don't know. It is if so. Just finishing the thought on that previous one. So the alternative then is to rely, like Ford was saying, I think, to rely a bit on calculation, and that's a common thing in the chess world as well. There's a streamer out there, can't remember his name. He's branded himself with this COE thing of calculation over everything. I think is what it's COE. I think that's what it stands for. And the idea that, like, don't guess, calculate. And so I think to a fault, I might sometimes take that position where I'm calculating. If I don't see it, I don't do it. But sometimes in shogi, you just can't calculate, or someone at my level can't calculate. Sometimes you have to play by heuristics, or sometimes you have to play by the pattern, or sometimes you have to play by the plan of, I can't guarantee that this is what's going to happen, but I think this is going to make the king's life more difficult, and I think I'm going to surround him, or I think this is going to be good, or think/hope. And I think that the risk is that you end up playing too many hopeful moves when you should be calculating more. And that's the balance. Is that, like, are you an intuitive player or are you a calculator? Or are you calling yourself intuitive when all you're really doing is hoping for the best, and you're too lazy to calculate, so you're hoping and you're calling that intuition when it works out? I don't know. That's a very tough one. So again, that's another thing that, especially during a game when the clock is ticking, starts taking some of my mental cycles, where it's like, am I over calculating? Am I overthinking this? Am I being lazy? Am I doing this? Am I YOLOing this because I think it just works, and I'm hoping it works, and I'm too lazy or I'm not strong enough to actually calculate it. I also think of hope shogi as, I hope my opponent doesn't see the correct response. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna make this move. I think the main and most common way of the most common variation of hope shogi, I think, is I am gonna make this move. I think it's bad, but if the opponent messes it up, I can win. That kind of thing. Like, I see Tsume against me, but I am going to make a Tsume threat or Tsumero threat against my opponent. Hope they don't mate me so that I can mate them. Like that kind of thing. Like that I think is a normal one. But I do think hope shogi also involves, you're playing a move, you can't calculate it, you don't know if it's good. You hope it's good, and that the opponent isn't going to see it. I think that's also hope shogi, where you're not. There's an element to not calculating. You definitely, in Fablegraph, you definitely think chess puzzles are more directly transferable to chess playing improvement. Shogi less so. You think primarily because of common networks of piece in hand. That's an interesting take. That's definitely an interesting take. I'm not sure what I think. I'm not sure if I agree or disagree. So I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I don't know. I go back and forth. And Danny Boy, you've always thought of yourself as an undynamic player that struggles with calculation. But shogi has helped push you out of that shell in terms of chess. As it forces you not to make your incompetence with dynamic positions a self-fulfilling prophecy. Nice. Kasparov and Tal were really good at those nebulous, intuitive sacrifices in insanely complicated positions. Yeah, famously. You find that such a hard skill yourself, but shogi is helping you to do that more. Yeah, when I see people like Koshiro, as we're going to see in 10 minutes, I see people like Gabriel Angelo BR13. I see sometimes like Benjamin Schuett, or some of these people who I think are sort of intuitive players who essentially, to my low skilled eyes, it almost looks like they're just throwing their pieces around. They're just throwing their pieces at the end, and then all of a sudden it just always magically works. Obviously, it's not magic. They have the creativity and the skill to see it. But yeah, I envy that as well. I want to believe that I'm getting there, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm a creative player. I don't know if I'm a dynamic player. I don't know if what word did you use? An undynamic player? I don't know what I am in Shogi, quite honestly. I think I'm just, at the end of the day, I think I'm just a pattern matcher. I'm just matching patterns that I've seen before, and I don't really have a lot of creativity beyond that. Despite the fact that the 3-minute games I was playing on Monday made me feel like I was a creative genius. Those 3-minute games, reviewing those even, I was especially when I was down or perceived myself to be down in the positions, I was making sort of creative hope shogi moves, but like I felt like I was a creative genius. That's like what Kasparov and Tal must have felt like, when all of a sudden they're just doing stuff and boom, they've got like winning advantages. Emperor Rex, good day, good to see you. Okay, so the game is going to be starting soon. The Koshiro game is going to be starting soon. So I am going to get my tea and prepare, and I will be right back. I will be right back. All right, back. Let me switch this, get this up, and just this game, like a gift from the heavens, just appeared this morning. Koshiro and Melkor at 1 p.m. I'm just gonna quit this stuff out, lower my resources, and yeah, Yeah, this is Division A battle. Koshiro and Melkor, Brazil and Germany. Let me just make sure the game hasn't started. It is not. Division A, Brazil, in an unfamiliar place in the middle of the pack. They're usually up at the top, but they are close. Everyone is close. And Germany is not as close, but still in the running. Still in the running. Strong players, can do anything. And France, Taiwan, Singapore, all tied basically right now, it seems like. Although France and Taiwan can pull ahead. Tiebreak-wise, they're all the same. United States in there, France won, who we saw earlier in the week. But anyway, this is Brazil 1. What is happening here? Is this... this is August. Okay, so no one else has played. No one else has played this month. So this is the first game of the month for this. So let's get over there. Let's get over there, and I will put my scene on, and then we will just wait for the magic to begin. And I'll read the chat. Danny Boy, you said, it's funny, a 2600 GM once said that the difference between him and the 2700 is that they just throw their pieces forward towards the center, and that is the difference. Well, that's something when I came out of the 2025 United States Shogi Championship, that was one of the things that I was talking about, because I observed a lot of games, a lot of the games from the best players in the US, and including some people from outside the US. And one thing that struck me at that event was how often they just throw their pawns up the board. And sometimes it just doesn't even seem like there's a point to it, but they just do it, and then later it turns out to be great. The first strong player that I noticed really doing that, so I think of this this style of throwing your pawns up the board. I actually think of this in my head whenever I see it as the YKT style. YKT is a teammate of Koshiro's on that Brazil team, that Brazil 1 team in Division A, the second board. And he's a very strong player. I've watched a bunch of his games, but yeah, it's like he just throws the pawns up the board. And even when to me, it doesn't even make sense. Like I'm trying to come up with ideas of what is even the point of this. And he just does it, and it works. And for all I know, he doesn't know why it works. He just does it. It's just like, I don't see a better move, so I'm just going to throw my pawns up. I don't know. And at some point, talking about Hope Shogi again, is it Hope Shogi? Just like when I make an edge attack or when you push your pawns up the board, I don't know if this is good. I just hope that the opponent doesn't know how to handle it. And then I'm going to take advantage. Hey, Harlu, nice to see you. Oh, boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Friday. It's end of the week. We've got a WSL game coming. You just took a 3-hour nap. Nice. Very nice. You're ready for some WSL. You're ready for some Division A WSL. I am ready for it too. Hasn't been a long week, but it's been a tiring week because I haven't been feeling so great now, yesterday and today still. And I'm definitely not feeling great looking at these viewer counts. Boy. Woof. Twitch is down at 7. YouTube is down at 1. What is going on? Honest question. And feel free to respond later if you are actually watching this. Although if you're watching it, you probably are not the person I'm asking. But do you really dislike WSL games? Now YouTube's showing 4, which is still very low for an hour into the stream. But do you not like these WSL games? Do you not like the Tsume battle? I understand that. Do you not like the talk? I know some people don't like the talk, and we ended up doing some talking. Some people love the talk, though. I just want to make people happy. Oh, boy. Koshiro has logged in. You love to talk and any form of competitive board games. Awesome. Well, you're right in that target audience. You got Koshiro here. He's 6 down from a peak of 7. KKR, I Dream of Shogi, just started a game as well. I would love to watch it, but I'll be watching the WSL game instead. You bought Mental Game of Poker for Mahjong. The book? All streams are good. Mental Game of Poker. Who wrote it? That's not a Harrington. That's not a Harrington book. Who wrote Mental Game of Poker book? Oh, some randos. Randos wrote it. The sports psychology thing. Okay. I'll be curious. If you find something useful in there, I would love to know. I would love to know. Because then I'll read it. I trust your feelings on these matters very much. Yeah, Inner Game of Tennis, of course, is a classic, I believe, from the 70s. You being a tennis player, you can't avoid having heard of that. Yeah, this feels to me to be right up Foradoon's line. The only one that I can think of is for chess that talks about that kind of stuff, and I haven't read it, so I don't know how much it is like that. But Chess for Zebras is the book that I've heard a lot about, that talks about psychology and sort of meta play. Weren't we just recently talking about another chess book though that was like Chess for Zebras on stream, like this week even, and it's not in my, it's falling out of my head. What's the name of the search bar? What does that mean? The search bar. What search bar? Oh, you recommend Mental Game of Poker for... Oh, so you actually read it. You did read it. You didn't just get it. You have read it. When I did the Google search, I don't understand your question, Harlu. The browser? Okay, so you do... Okay, you finished reading. Now it comes to trying to apply. Okay. One of these days I am going to read Chess for Zebras, or Zebras, as our British friends might say. Melkor is 4 minutes late. Playing those mental games. He's playing those mind games. Oh, Harlu. Oh, Alfred. I use Alfred. Yeah, Alfred uses the Spotlight database under the covers, and it's just way better than Spotlight. It's way better than Spotlight, in my humble opinion. Around Apple, a lot of people were using Alfred. Spotlight was, I don't want to talk about corporate software anymore. I don't feel like talking about corporate software, but Spotlight's one of those things where it's just, why is there's no excuse. There's no good excuse for it to be as lame as it is. There's just no excuse for it. You've got world-class programmers all over your company, and you just have a crappy tool. There's no excuse for it. There's just no excuse for it. There's no good excuse for it. I know why it happens, but it's not valid. It's not. Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad. Hey, Mukashi no Kimi, hello. Nice to see you. All right, Melkor, and now Melkor is late, so now I'm doubly mad. Now I'm doubly mad. I'm gonna check to see if he's made some sort of excuse right now. Hopefully he's there. Just maybe he just did a UTC. Yeah, no, he did it. He's the one who scheduled it. 20 minus 7 equals 13 equals 1 p.m. So I'm doing the math, or as our European friends would say, I'm doing the maths. If this doesn't happen, I'll be very disappointed. I gotta say, as soon as I saw this game pop up in that list, I was very excited. The HTML spec must add a time zone type thing. Yeah. Now, so that's the responsibility. I blame the web developers. You know, this WSL is great. These are volunteers. It's an amazing service to the community and the world, and it's a great tournament. But their time usage is the way they display time is just, it's almost inexcusable to me. But it's fine. It's fine. You didn't know Spotlight was considered bad. You're pretty happy with it. I just think it's just so unambitious, and it does such a bad job, and it has so many edge cases of doing annoying things. And especially when you look at like how well Alfred works, I think it's really disappointing. I think it's very disappointing. To me, it's just corporate junkware. It's just corporate lazy junkware. The database at the back end is great. I don't want to say the implementation is, but the database back end is great. That's what Alfred is using. Alfred is using the same database backing Spotlight. It just does it better. It just does it better. Oh man, 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 9 minutes. What time is it in Germany? Sorry. It is 10 p.m. in Berlin. Okay. Man. Ooh. Is anyone pinging Melkor on Discord? I don't see him in any discussions right now. See a message from him about an hour ago. Bummed. I am bummed. I guess I'll just, if he doesn't show up. Oh, he's having problems connecting the audio. Good luck, Koshiro. Thank you for the update. Good luck then. All right, I hope that means we're going to have a game. I hope that means that. Maybe he's listening to music in the background. No, but seriously, you do need audio. I think you do need audio for Shogi. You've got to hear those Byoyomi numbers. You've got to hear the Byoyomi. I do anyway. And the game has begun. Excellent. Melkor is Sente. Melkor has been given the advantage by the Shogi dice. Ooh. Koshiro making the best engine move. Murata Shistimu. I'm almost out of my tea. The game started late. All right. Once we get this pawn up, we'll have the Murata Shistimu badge. Exciting stuff. So the last game, I was wondering if he was going to try Nakabisha Onaguma like he did in the first Tournament to King game, which he won the other day. Harulu is rooting for Milker. I think Milker's a good young player. Milker's good, but I'm rooting for Koshiro. Koshiro is one of my Shogi heroes. That is a great autocorrect. That is a great autocorrect. Okay. So what is this called? What is Melkor's approach here called? Yeah, exactly. Will Melkor just play Gangi like from the videos? Yeah. It's looking like that is probably going to be it. I'm not really thinking of many structures that besides that from here. Once he's already committed the bishop out, I would expect we're getting this. And I don't know if this pawn also comes up. You go like that. I don't know. So this is the thing, is that I don't know what this indicates. I don't know enough from the Gangi style players what that indicates. I think I Dream of Shogi also pushes that pawn. Interesting. So what's the idea there? The idea is that if the bishop takes, we bring the silver up to 6-4 so that we could climb up this way. You sort of accelerate our attack. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Yeah, that's now you get the silver out. No. Huh. Huh. Fascinating. Fascinating. So I thought maybe he was going to try to accelerate the bogeying. Not that it's a bogeying, but like, yeah, get that climb up here. What's the rush of moving silver? Well, I thought he was going to start threatening down by taking, basically get this silver up so that you could take this pawn, so you could take this pawn. Otherwise, maybe you're forcing. If you wanted to do Gangi, you're sort of forcing him out of that. You know, if he wants to defend this pawn, he'd have to bring his silver up here. This is interesting. This is interesting. I definitely would like to know the idea behind that 5-5 pawn. And I know it's sometimes helpful not to have that pawn there, both for attack and for like later, much later attack, and for defense. Yeah, as a middle file pawn gambiter, I understand the reasons, some of the reasons why you'd want to do that. I just don't know in this case, so early, why you would decide to do that. What cannot be stopped? That the silver from taking this pawn? I think you can. Right? I mean, by getting the silver out to 7-7. Melkor famously loves the sitting king. He's not much of a castler. I don't think Koshiro is going to open his bishop diagonal, is he? Do you usually do that in maybe? Yeah, I guess you do. I guess you could in Murata system. Yeah, he's not playing Urashino Ryu. He's not playing the Urashino Ryu way. Yeah, and there it is. Like, I guess if he would have brought the other silver up, he would have kept that diagonal closed. Very loud squeak outside. So does Melkor want to push his pawn, the 6-6 pawn? Like if he pushes that 6-6 pawn, is that a good result for Koshiro? It doesn't feel good to me to have to pull that silver back. Two pawns yeeted to 0. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Melkor did yeet a pawn. Yeah. Yeah, you missed. How dare you? You missed an actual 2-4 yeet. If he does push 6-6, pawn 6-6, where does Koshiro go? Is it to 7-4 or to 5-4? I don't think I like it on 5-4. Because then it's a target for the rook. You know, this attack, take, and then this is hanging. Huh. No more sitting king. Running out of my tea. My Ito N matcha green tea. Oishi. Rook 5-2. That feels very Koshiro-like. It does feel very Koshiro-like to move that rook over. But yeah. Is the plan going to be to get the knight up and then swing over? I don't know. There's a lot of defense here. Is that worth attacking there? But then again, there's a lot of defense over here. It would certainly not be the first time that Koshiro swung his rook to the center file. What would the engine say about this position? What's the engine? Guess the eval. Guess the eval in this position. I'm going to say plus 250. That's I'm going to look back later and put this into Nagisa V3. Let it run to past depth 40. And I'll report back this important news of what does the engine say about this position. That's true. Yeah, in 50 years, engines might see the mate in 1329. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I do like that move from Melkor. You know, it heads off. It pushes this silver into an I think to what I would consider an uncomfortable spot, and it nullifies the threat of like a knight jump here or here. It blocks the bishop. And all of a sudden, this just looks really solid to me for Sente, but you know, kind of wide open for Gote. Yagura enthusiast, appropriate, you know, lore accurate. You know, Melkor playing Yagura. As we discussed, pushing pawns. This is something that Koshiro does incredibly well as well. I've watched so many of his games, and just when I don't know what to do or when I'm not seeing a good move, it's inevitably he's going to play this pawn push, some pawn push that I wouldn't have even considered. But again, like back to that review discussion, why wouldn't I consider this? I should be considering this because, you know, it allows us to attack over here and get our bishop more active potentially. Allows us to, I think, get our rook to 5-2 like we were just talking about. It strengthens the 5-2. It gives us a place to retreat the silver, I guess. Not that I think is a concern. Time check here. Melkor has spent 10 minutes. Koshiro is closing in on 5 minutes. What are the sort of moves Melkor would like to make here? I was just going to say, I think you're probably going to get the silver out. Like, that's what I would have done. For me it was a debate between the silver and the knight. But I don't know if I want my knight to be potentially a target at all. You know, it's not so much a target with the silver here, but then I'd be locking the silver to defense of that square. All right. That's Kanigakoi. What is Koshiro going to make? Is he going to make Gangi? I don't think he's going to make Gangi because I think he's going to eventually swing that rook over. I think. But to do that, he'd have to... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe he's going to exchange off this pawn. And get his gold. He loves to start rushing his pieces up the board. So, like, this wouldn't surprise... There it is. It's Sai. It's the Sai move. It's like, you know, it's like Hikaru. Just, you don't know what to do, but you feel that Sai move. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. I was going to say, it wouldn't surprise me if he plays this and just throws his generals up the board, which he just sort of does. He does that blob thing that I call it a blob thing. The first person who I ever experienced that against was Noah, the 2024 US Shogi champion, where I just felt like this amorphous blob was just rolling over me, and I just had nothing to do. And it's this sort of style where the generals run up the board. I also sort of attribute this to, or I also think of this sort of as a handicap style, where the handicap player, you know, throws the generals up the board. But Foradun called it as well. Foradun called it. Psychological attack. Maybe. I think he's just he's a player that takes a lot of space. He just takes a lot of, he just likes to, it feels to me like he likes to own a lot of the board. I don't know if this is a funny story or if this is a pitiful story. I don't know if I've told it before, but you know, this avatar, this avatar of Koshiro's avatar, I used to think that this was him. I used to think that this was like a rendering of Koshiro. I didn't know that this is a character from Naruto. But this actually this could look sort of like Koshiro. You could, I mean, this could be an artist's rendition of Koshiro. You know, because he's got the hair with, you know, he can pull it back like this. Oh, Gold 6-3 is a Murata system thing. Really? Oh, interesting. Do you know the purpose of it? Is it to take space, or is it to defend the knight? What is there like a theme? Yes, yeah, so Shikamaru. Thank you, Shikamaru. Yeah. I don't think I've ever said this on stream. I was telling someone at the Shogi Club on Sunday that I used to think that this is, you know, when I first saw Kosher, like, I thought this was was like a computer rendering of Koshiro playing shogi. It's twofold: to defend the knight and to climb the gold. Yeah, you're not alone, Emperor Rex, getting you interested in shogi. It's kind of amazing. I've never seen a single episode of Naruto. It's a real short part. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not a shogi manga. .200 IQ. What's 200 IQ? The edge attack? The edge pushes? An IQ too high? So what does Koshiro want to do? Pull his king to 3-1? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, the knight jump. Interesting. Interesting. Shikamaru equals Koshiro. Koshiro is more powerful than Shikamaru. I'll say it again. I love the higher resolution flags, but I miss the waving. I miss the old 81 Dojo flag waving. So what's Melkor looking to do now? Is he going to jump his knight? He's grabbing it, and he moved it. Is Melkor going to jump his other knight now? Sort of add some extra defense to the 6-5 square? You know, because what is Koshiro thinking to be able to... Is he looking to be able to open this up? Or is he still... Well, I guess it's sort of... It adds some value this way and retains the value this way. And it just avoids... Not that this is a threat, but... I guess it sort of is. I guess it sort of is. I mean, it would be a tempo. Huh. Time check. Melkor has 13 minutes left. Koshiro has 22 and a half minutes left. This is a big game. Big game. Big stakes. You can feel the tension. You could cut the tension with a knife. As the young German plots his course. So I guess it wouldn't surprise me if Koshiro takes, rook takes, and then redrop. Then again, Koshiro loves to hold his knights. I think he loves to have knights in hand. Koshiro is famously a lover of knights. Yeah, I think he has to take. Okay, I was gonna say, I think he has to take, or he has to do something to prevent the fork. Because if he takes, silver takes, you get the fork. So he chose to defend the fork and allow himself to take back with a silver, which I suppose gets him sort of a better, stronger Yagura-like castle. You would say, yeah. Yeah, it would be a little more robust with the silver on 3-3, perhaps. Yeah, that edge is looking a little light. Without a bishop on 2-1 to defend. And that knight sitting there is going to be valuable. So, So what does he do? Does he take the knight now? Take the knight and then take the pawn? Take knight takes, rook takes, pawn takes? Yeah. So is there a way, if the lance takes, how do we deal with this rook? Do we drop a knight? That I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure if I'm seeing how that ends. I don't like just take and then giving the rook this file. I'm not seeing a great way to prevent the rook getting this file outside of maybe dropping the knight. But if you drop the knight, rook goes back, the rook will still be able to do something like this. Okay. What are the options? Take? The options are take. The options are drop the knight on 3-3. I don't think we can drop the knight on 2-1. Cathbert Ronzi, hello. Is there books for puzzles and training? Yeah. Well, for puzzles, Nekomato has some books from Urano. They are Japanese, but they are mate in 1s, mate in 3s, mate in 5s. In the podcast, I'll just give a quick link to this podcast. There's an entire episode dedicated to English language shogi books, and a couple of those are puzzle books as well. Puzzle books, especially for lower level players. I don't know how skilled you are, but if you're starting out or relatively low level, the books mentioned in there could be good. Yeah, so I would start with those. I definitely would start with those. One of the great things about shogi, even though it's almost everything is in Japanese, puzzle books, you don't need much Japanese. You basically need to know the coordinates, and it's very quick to learn how to read shogi coordinates. And even if you don't read the coordinates, sometimes in the Tsume books, you do your problem, you turn the page, and the solution is often bolded. Sometimes they trick you and they'll show the wrong solution and it'll be bolded. But most of the time that works out. But yeah, if you know the coordinates, or you could figure out the coordinates are relatively easy to figure out. Oh, so he went on the attack. So rather than defending, he went on the attack. Aha, so desu ne. Naruhodo. So he wants to exchange rooks. Interesting. Ion Gray left. Does that mean he doesn't like it anymore, or does that mean he thinks it's over? I love to just assume intent from leaving and entering. Oh, he entered. He entered again. The meta. The shogi, the meta games of online shogi. So desu ne. So if he takes, knight takes, rook drop, right? How could this be good? How could this be good for Gote? You wouldn't drop a rook back to defend. Isn't this just great for Sente? What's the catch? What's the catch? Oh, the catch might be a rook drop is just mate. a rook drop is literally just mate. So it's like it'd be a back rank. It's like a back rank. I don't know if that's. I mean, I think I would do it. I think I still would do it. Because what's he gonna do? If Koshiro is gonna move his rook? I mean, his king. So Melkor drops the rook. Koshiro moves the king, runs the king. There's no way to threaten this rook. And then Melkor moves the bishop. Okay, so we're going to see it. He drops the knight there. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. This would be absolutely incredible if Melkor takes the lance. This would be hope for all Shogi players right now. This would be hope. If Melkor takes this lance, this would be huge for the Shogi world. It's not checkmate? Wait, is it not? Wait, it's not? What am I missing? Oh, he's got two lands. He's got two knights. He's got two knights. I didn't see that he had knights. I just saw that he had pawns. When did he get the knights? Oh, I was calculating way back when. I was calculating based when the knight was here, and I never readjusted my mental model. I was doing all that calculation when the knight was here and the rook was here. The rooks were here. That's why I'm not 6 Dan. Well, Melkor has 2 knights, but I have 3 PS3s. Melkor, I mean, Koshiro wants that silver though. That silver up here is going to be awfully nice. Dropping that silver wants to go home to 5/8. I wanted to see a back rank mate so bad. So this, all right, Sumero threat. There we go. There's the 5/8. So how do you defend this? How does Melkor defend this? Do you drop a knight back on 5/9? A silver back? Nope. Interesting. Interesting. So you give up the promotion. That's interesting because the rook takes, king runs, silver takes gold, and then gold drop here. Well, I guess maybe he'll take with the silver. So if he takes with the gold, then we get the gold drop here, and we're just going to town. But takes. Look at that pawn move. Look at this adult move. Look at this adult move. Look at this adult move. This is why I'm not 6 Dan. Not even in my top 1,000 moves. Because I don't have 1,000 moves. Because my vision is completely localized to the area of attack. So it's not even in my candidate list. What's to stop gold back to 7-9? That's my question. What's to stop gold back to 7-9? That feels good to me. You need to be honest. You're fighting for not indulging in your impulse and start shogi, or you're going to start losing yourself in the trenches. Well, what a place to lose yourself, though. Do it. Do it. Do it. If you only knew the power. If you only knew the agony that you could feel playing shogi. I have a one-track mind. I'm still looking at gold 7-9. Maybe you'll be surprised and find yourself in the trenches. Get it? Get it? You said you would lose yourself, and Fortune said you might find yourself. Heyo. I need a horn. I need a horn for when Fortune makes a comment. Or like aruga, aruga. In this tense dance of pieces, the battle between the battle of countries. Two young men enter the ring, Koshiro and Melkor. One for Brazil, one for Germany. And he took the pawn. Wow. 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 Koshiro doesn't have a pawn. You might say he's Fugire. You might say. You might say. I won't say it, but you might. Yeah, this is the question I was wondering later. What do you do next? I assumed silver would take, because obviously gold, you get a gold. Whoa. He wants that pawn, though. I guess. Maybe. Boy, I don't know. I'm still not seeing it. I don't want to discount Melkor's attack. Or Milker, as some in chat would say. But boy, that dragon doesn't. The dragon's ideal position is not on 5-5. I wonder if he is going to try to Sabaki and take that bishop. Take that bishop and then try to be annoying against the rook. Melkor is such a strong player. He realizes that this bishop is looking here. So just this kind of bishop here is a common move. I think that someone of the lower levels might not realize that this bishop is here. So once the knight is dropped, hitting this, we still have both. The bishop can't run this way because we'll just take it. and then we can do stuff like dropping the silver. Dropping the silver would once this bishop goes, you drop the silver. I think that's basically mate. I should add some more reward for the point. Wait, for what point? Reward to Foradun?
40秒
For his oh, those points. Yeah, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to ideas.
に
I'm open to ideas. I don't know what, like, I don't see anybody doing anything interesting with those. Like, the only thing that I ever see other streamers doing is like, what is it? Hydration checks? Like people pay money to do, and you just said they're the usual, like, drink water. Yeah, yeah.
$30 秒 40秒
This is Sumero, right?
50秒 1、2、3
Zoinks? It has to be king takes, right? Silver takes, then we get this gold takes, we get the silver drop on 7-9, I think. Or just rook 6-8.
40秒
I don't think the rook is the dragon is not even going to take this. He's not going to take that piece on 6-7.
50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6
Yeah. And the rook gets the one gap. It was a no-win. It felt like a no-win situation. Does Melkor have any? Well, he can't attack. He's currently being checked. I keep looking at Melkor's pieces as Koshiro's pieces.
30秒
Sorry. So he doesn't. Koshiro didn't have a silver. Doesn't have two silvers. So when I said I thought it was Sumero, I don't want to. Now I need to go back and recheck it because I'm in Koshiro's mind here, and
50秒
I'm driving.
1、2、
But
3、4、5、6、7、8
and he resigned. Oh, good game. I would have loved to see the finish of this. I would have loved to see the finish. What's the finishing punch? I'll just say GG to both. Boy, did it. So what was the mistake? Was the mistake exchanging the rook? Like, should Melkor have just not exchanged the rook? Was there an option to not do that? And Kosher was saying at the end, gold takes would be better. Yeah, that's interesting to say. Like, I was saying gold takes just because I was saying gold takes would be losing just because I thought Koshiro had these silver pieces. Wow. No Johns. We're getting some Johns. We're getting some Johns out there, and that's all right. I don't mind the Johns in the comments. I won't. No Johns, but we're Didn't see gold knight 7. Oh, okay. So he didn't see that. Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like Kosher or Malkor is saying that maybe that he missed the bishop. So that's the thing that I was talking about, you know, the scariness of that bishop, that like at lower levels it'd be all the time missed. But you know, I expect at these levels it's almost always seen. He probably did see it, but maybe didn't have the calculation. I'm not sure. But either way, wow. Let's take this into Lee Shogi. You know, I'm fans of both players, but you know, I fancy myself Koshiro's biggest fan, so I'm feeling very good. We got a good game and very interesting to watch. And let's take this here, and so I'm gonna flip it to Koshiro's side. Actually, no. Since we watched the game from this side, I'll be here. So where was that point where I said what I thought the eval was? I think it was here. I said I thought it was I'd be plus 300 or something. It's actually minus 300. I mean, using this. Interesting. Wow. Maybe the idea is that this bishop is still biting on granite, as they say in the chess world. All right. So anyway, oh. Okay, so this is the biggest Gote advantage at this point. You know, it's tiny, it's still equal, but 5-5 pawn. 5-5 pawn to push the silver back. Okay. That's a good move. So this was fine, but it's now we're like slight advantage to Sente. This was a mistake. I liked this. Wow. Not a mistake, but it was a slight mistake. Taking the knight was okay. So the engine doesn't believe in this edge attack, but the engine also thinks we should take here. Wow. A lot of good moves for Koshiro here. Taking was fine also. I want to see what the so taking is fine. It's -3. Oh, and then it would. Oh, of course. And then we push it. So I talked about this. I was thinking of doing this before, but now it's killer. Now it's killer. Okay. We're gonna lose. We'll just lose the lance. Yeah. Oh. You saw on one channel a creature add-on that people can feed. I'm curious what software that is. All right, well, yeah, it takes 5-5 knight. I think the engine prefers 5-5 knight, but takes is okay. And then this is the right move. This is all. So it's amazing to me here. So why Why is 4-9 rook better than all the others? And Koshiro, of course, played it. There's a non-trivial difference here between 4-9 rook and these others, these other inferiors. Why? Oh, because what he did. Because the silver can't, it eliminates the silver's path. Okay, I think that's it. Because it eliminated the silver's running path. And that came into play later on in the game. Oh, interesting. Boy. So that's like, these are the kind of moves that are like, sometimes I'll make them, but I'll have just luckily made them. I'm randomly picking which one to make. And which place to drop, and I pick it, and it happens to be the right move. But like, these are the things a strong player is thinking about. Dropping any of these drops are reasonable, but this one is better, and it's because you're going to be able to drop the pawn here. And the silver does not have the option to go back. So you'll be able to get that silver here. Wow. Wow. Okay. It's still even here, by the way. Still all even. Oh, wow. The only move here is getting the bishop. You're just, I mean, you're going to be able to win this silver anyway. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Okay. Yeah. And now it's still not over. Dragon takes was better. Dragon takes is very interesting. Engine did not like this. Oh, start the edge attack now or drop the knight. The engine prefers. Although with more thought, I think it's fine. Or not. Oh, wait, what was the third option? 6-7, no promote. No promote. Or promote. Wow. So in browser and server side are disagreeing with each other about the 6-7 move. It's still, the game is still not over. Oh, so this was interesting. Gold takes, yeah. And then we would do the, oh, interesting, yeah. We would use our gold here. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's still tough, but it's still alive. Wow. Wait, anyway, I wanted to see the end, but this is mate in 5. This is mate in 5. Let's just assume. Let's assume this. Mate in 3. Gold drop. Oh, because the knight is gone. Now the gold drop is mate. With the sniper bishop. Oh wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. That's two places that I in this game, at least two places, both on that trade and then the back rank mate, and in this place where I didn't see because I had not reassessed my there's a follow. Mahablam. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Where I did not reassess my internal board position when I was calculating. So in this example, so when we were here and I was thinking about the mate, despite the fact that the dragon was here, in my mind, in my sort of mental model of the position, the knight was still defending. So in this case, the gold drop would not have necessarily, I mean, maybe it would have still been fine, but it wasn't mate. Because in my, like I said, you know, I did not see the gold because I thought, oh, well, there's still enough defenders. And the same thing before where, you know, he didn't have the knight in hand until there was exchanges. So anyway, that's two places where I'm, you know, my refresh rate, like a monitor or something like that. My internal refresh rate of the position doesn't happen on every move, and I need to get it to the point where it does, where just because one or two moves prior, a move wouldn't work, that doesn't mean it won't work now. So I need to reassess. Okay, you know, if I drop this gold, in my mind, go through the calculation. Lance takes, horse takes, or bishop takes and promotes. And that's it. We would see that that's it. Because now there's nothing else that can take. Fascinating. I always interesting to me how my, you know, the brain works, or my brain in particular. But awesome stuff. I'm gonna exit there, and I'll switch to Adrian Shogi's game for now. I am running low on water, but I'm probably going to be closing up anyway. So we'll finish this out. He's Gote here, playing again a lot. I just love to see it. He plays so much. I'm, you know, as someone who also plays a lot. I play, you know, I play a lot. I don't think I play as much as I do in Shogi. He's always on. And he's playing good time control games, I think, more than I am. So it's admirable. Admirable. No. That's the Rathacon Admiral Kirk. He's pushing pawns. Just like we were talking about, the strong players and their pawn pushes. He's got a hyper-extended Gangi. He's got his two golds and his silver in front of the pawn. This is hyper Gangi. This is Galagangi. Because it sort of reminds me of a Galaga shape. Sort of reminds me of a ship in Galaga, the shape. So it's a Galagangi. This is the Galagangi castle. Wow. Living in the tension. This is like a chess position. They're letting the pawn structure live in tension. If anyone's looking for retro video game channels to watch on YouTube, check out Retro Bird, and you like a little bit of humor. I've been enjoying Retro Bird a lot over the past week, and he's got this ridiculous theme song, and it's living in my head. Like right now, the Retro Bird theme song is in my head. He's the Retro Bird. it's Mm-hmm. So dana. Huh. What's the idea? What's the idea? What's the idea? Yeah, yeah. That's why I don't like that. It felt like we were allowing that. Maybe he just missed it, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he really likes this pawn push. So, whoa. All right, he's not buying. He's not buying what Adriano Shogi's selling on that one. Part of promoting means we can drop a Sokofu if he drops a rook. But he drops a rook, he can also take this silver. What? Not much time usage in this game. This, I'm going to guess, is a 10-minute, 30-second game. Adriano Shogi has used 2 minutes. His opponent has used 5.5. So it's a fast game. Even in longer time controls, it seems like a lot of the players, like to move quickly. Ooh, yeah. Huh. I wonder if Sente missed that. I wonder if Sente missed that move. Because it looked like, it looked like a big sacrifice. The rook sack mate was coming if the king ran. The fact that he's thinking so much now makes me think that he might have missed that idea. Boy, moving the horse feels like a terrible idea. Is it mate? Wait, silver is silver 5-8 potentially mate? No, silver 5-8, king runs. Token takes, king takes. drop the gold on 6-7. King runs, drop the gold on 7-8. King runs. That's not mate. Ooh. Huh. Can't, I don't think the pawn drop 6-8. King runs. Pawn drop 6-8. Gold takes. Silver takes. Ah, so he's going this route. Yeah, this was my first inclination. Definitely my first inclination. So king runs, token takes, king takes, silver back to, no, not silver back, token to 6-7 again, defended by the silver, hitting the rook, and then it's mate, then it's golds, 2 golds. Yeah, that's mate. Token, king takes, token over, king takes, gold drop, gold drop. Nice. Woof. Yeah, after the details, schmeetails, and then there's the gold drop. Well, gold drop would have also done it, but this is also cool. Very nice. Woo! Look at that attack. Beautiful. I'm glad that I saw it too. Most of it. So I calculated well enough such that once it would have happened in the game, I would have also seen this. GG. GG. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. All right. So anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thanks everyone for a week of for a fun week of Shogi. I'm sorry it couldn't be longer. You know, I'm still getting over this cold, but I'm so grateful that Koshiro and Melkor managed to schedule their big game here, and we were able to take it in. So thanks everyone. Thanks for the discussion. This week has been great, and tomorrow is, let's just take a look at what's coming up tomorrow on WSL. I know that we have a panic game. You know, the USA team is going to be playing at 1600, which is 9 a.m. my time. So if I can, I am going to be streaming this one. I don't want to unduly stress panic here. And, you know, Time Zombie, our friend Time Zombie, but this is a big game for Team USA. United States team could get their first win of the year. And then a little later, 4 hours later, so it's going to be tough to capture on the same stream, but Pharmacist is going to be playing EDPA. I definitely want to see that one because I care about both players. But in the middle, sort of running almost concurrently with Panic's game, is Foradun. So the United States needs one win from one of these players because Synchro won his first game, and so the United States is up 1-0. So let's look. Abigail is also a friend of the channel, so you know it's it's bittersweet, but I will be cheering for Foradun. Let's see. August. Synchro has the win against Kenko no Ken, and Foradun will be playing Abigail. Panic will be playing Misanthrope Troll, and this is a big one. Team Canada lost, unfortunately this month. But anyway, United States, like I said, they have no wins. They're the only winless team this year so far, but they are in a great spot. They need one win tomorrow morning, and I hope to be cheering them on and commentating in It's tough. It's tough. Just like today's game. Like today's game. I love both players. I would like to see both players do well. But at the end of the day, like I choose Kojiro over myself. So, it's hard to be impartial. And since I am not being paid for this, I am not going to be I am not being paid to be impartial. So United States is going for their win, and I would love to see it. Guatemala also in the basement right now with the United States, needs a win. I believe they are in the hole. I believe they're in the hole 1-0. Yes, they are. It's 1-0. Gus won the game we saw. Gus one had the winning chances and missed out. But Skykeeper against EP Player, Pharmacist against EDPA. It's a tough challenge. It's a very tough challenge. Skykeeper will be playing the new and reigning European champion, and Pharmacist will be playing his dad. So that will be, I'm cheering for everyone, but it's looking that's a tough one for Guatemala. So Canada here with their 3 wins is sitting pretty. They're sitting pretty. The United States and Guatemala would love to get out of this basement. Australia and France, though, do not want to let them. So we'll see. It's going to be very exciting. What else is happening tomorrow? That's it. I mean, that's it. There's tons. I mean, these are tons of great games. These games are interesting too, but I can't stream those. Those are too early. So the Panic and Foradun games, and then maybe later than that, the Pharmacist and EDPA. I'd love to see all of them, but hopefully we'll see at least the 2 of them. Anyway, that's it. Thanks everyone. I will see you soon. Take care. And if I don't see you over the weekend, have a great weekend.